I can't believe in a ghost, buried to below. I can't believe in something that remains under the ground. I can't believe in a ghost.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Dead Noise. I'm Chris, and today I am here with Vampires Everywhere. How you guys doing?
Very festive, very festive.
Pretty good. How are you?
Very good. First off, how are you guys feeling? Because you just got off stage not too long ago. How's the adrenaline holding up?
Really good. So I was dead before this show. I felt so drained, and as soon as I stepped on stage, it was incredible. So like, I'm feeling good. Got a little bit of whiskey. Tell them why? You want me to tell them why? Yeah? All right. Exclusive here. Somebody, and I'm not going to mention names. I won't mention names.
It's me.
Someone drove this RV into a ditch on the side of the road in the middle of East Bumblefuck, North Carolina, like in a backwoods somewhere, and we had to get rescued by 911 at like 4 in the morning. And yeah, I got to sleep at 5, and I drove this morning. But I'm back. I have whiskey in me. It feels good. Show was great. How do you feel?
Festive.
Festive.
At the time we're filming this, you guys just released a new single today called Ghost. What can you tell me about the writing process behind that and what that song means to you guys?
Well, I think when I write everything, I kind of write it about my ex-girlfriend, but I have new turmoils with my my new love interest. But everything kind of reverts back to my near-fatal car accident. I was killed by a drunk driver about 16 years ago. I was revived back to life, and so this song is kind of like a twist between old, new, and that accident. So it's an important song for me. I'm not very good about delving down deep and putting my own life into things. I try to fabricate a lot, but this is pretty personal.
This is your second year of bringing back Vampires Everywhere. You guys came back in October of 2021. This is 2 years into it. You guys have been nonstop in the studio and on the road since you guys came back. Does it still feel like a new start for you, or is it just back into the swing of things?
No, it is a new start. It's a new start, man. I mean, we had a hard time when we started off in 2009. We gained popular interest probably about 2012, and I had a couple of versions of this band. And it wasn't until Warped Tour 16, actually it was on Ronnie's bus for Following Your Verse, when I was approached by some people I won't name to start a band called Dead Girls Academy, and put kind of a wrench into everything. It was a great experience, but it wasn't who I am and what I represent. So I think this is, if you want to say back into the swing of things, mentally, yes. I think now this lineup is back in the swing of things.
And for you to be in the new lineup, how does it feel to be part of this band's legacy now?
Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so honored. It's so crazy. When I joined in 2021, my mom sent me a picture of a Facebook memory of her watching Vampires Everywhere at Warped Tour 2012. So, like, I had Immortal Love, like, on my iPod.
And by the way, I've had no relations with his mother.
Yes, yes.
Good to get that out there.
Put that on the record. Dad? But, yeah, thank you, LimeWire, for having Immortal Love and Undead Heart on my iPod. But I'm honored, and it's been incredible. And it's crazy to think that it's been like 2.5 years, because it feels like yesterday that I was at the first ever music video shoot I did was Witch. So, yeah, that's the first ever one I did with them. And, yeah, it feels great. I love being here every second of it.
And I don't know if the camera's picking him up right now, but if we could get Brandon's word on what it feels like to be in Vampires Everywhere now.
How's it feel to be the new guy?
I've been hazed, drawn and quartered. Ever since I joined this band, it's just been an uphill battle of strife and, of course, immaculate success. Every night has been even better than the last.
So articulate.
And another single that you guys released this year was a cover of Cry Little Sister, which, if anybody even knows anything about your band, we know how much The Lost Boys means to you guys. So how did it feel to put your own personal spin on such an iconic song?
Very scary. Probably the most scary song I've ever done. I had to do it justice. You know, it's been covered a lot. GMAC is actually, we're on the same radio promotion as GMAC.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I did not want to butcher this, and I felt I had to get out of my box. I sing at a certain register, and I needed to break that. I needed to be better, and I think I've accomplished that on that song. I'm very, very, very proud of it. I don't think there was much Melodyne or auto-tune on that. I really wanted to hit these notes. I really wanted to do it justice. It means a whole lot to me. My stepfather, before he died of leukemia, I mean, like, you know, later on in life, but he brought me to this movie when I was 13, and I saw it in theaters, and it has changed my life. I mean, there's not enough good things I could possibly say about it.
To that point, with a name like Vampires Everywhere, I have to ask, what would you say are your top 3 to 5 vampire movies?
Ooh, come on, Jesse, give me one.
Well, for you, other than
Don't say mine. Give me yours.
mine.
You could do 3 or 5.
All right, okay. So my first one, is pretty controversial. So I'm gonna leave. It's The Lost Boys is number 1, but I'm gonna leave that one out. So Queen of the Damned.
Okay.
Was one of the first ones that I've ever like personally loved. The original Dracula. And then what did I recently watch? I think it was Fright Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
The newer one.
Oh.
The newer.
Colin Farrell's one.
Yeah, the newer one.
And what would
For
yours
me?
be?
Let the Right One In.
God damn it! Such a good one.
I think the original version was just so crazy, man. I unfortunately have read a lot of books. Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman, I think was just, oh my God, Francis Ford Coppola. I mean, him even like taking that on, it's bananas. And of course, The Lost Boys, but I'm also a Fright Night fan. I'm a more of an original Fright Night fan, but yeah.
I think I remember watching the Fright Night that I'm talking about, the newer one, with you on tour.
You're so cool, Brewster.
You guys are back on the road with Alesana for the second part of their trilogy tour. How does it feel to be back on the road with those guys? Like you said on stage, they're longtime friends of yours, so I imagine it's a great feeling to be back with them.
So there are some bands in life that you meet because we're all in a competition silently, right?
Of course.
They are not. They brought out some of my favorite bands. You know, the first time I met Kellen from Sleeping with Sirens was at an Alesana show. Me and Danny got close at an Alesana show from Asking Alexandria. You know, when they took us out, we were in a weird transition period where we were a dark band and it was just us emotionless, and it was just like we were in a weird place. And they decided, you know, they took us out, I think 2 times, maybe even 3, on their tour, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, I'm overly thankful. They are so good, and for them to believe in me at that point in time, I was not that good. You know, I did my best. You know, but they believed in the idea, and they liked hanging out with me, and so I really am appreciative.
For you?
Yeah, being that this is my second tour with them, and you know, meeting them for the first time last tour, it is like when you're that moment when your idols become your friends and your peers. They're one of the best live bands I've ever seen in my life, and every night I just watch them in awe. They're so tight, they're so good, and they're even better people. So it's an honor to be back with them again. And now I have a joke because, you know, I'm one of the, you know, newer guys of, you know, this band. It's like every time I watch them, it's like watching my dads go to work. I just watch them. I'm just like, wow, this is what it's like to be a professional.
What do you think, Blaine?
Yeah, what is it like going out with Alesana for what, your first tour?
Yeah, well, first real tour, we'll say. I don't know, same deal. I'm in awe just from the fact that they move around so much. Any performing artist knows how hard it is not only to maintain your breath on stage, but like the guitar spins and whatnot. It's unreal. They don't miss a beat. They don't miss a note, you know. They're just phenomenal every set. And yeah, really look up to those guys.
Yeah, how Pat can do that, I don't know. I have no idea.
He's got a treadmill at home. He goes on the guitar with that treadmill. That's hard as nails.
Well, as a band, the last 2 years, I'm not just saying this because I'm sitting next to you guys, but I think that the music that you guys have made since The Awakening and the revamping of the band is some of the best music you've ever done. What was it that changed? I know your voice has changed a lot, but sticking with the songwriting process or the writing and the sonic end, has there been a shift, or was it just a matter of getting the right people together?
You know, when I first started, when we first put out the band, I was not supposed to be singing. I was supposed to be the screamer. And he wasn't able to cut it in the studio. And this was 2009, and so I had to do it myself. And I think the progression of me becoming an actual vocalist, being good at what I do and confident in what I do, practicing every day and learning my craft has been the most important thing for us. I found a magician in Paul Bartolome. He's actually in Asking now, but he's so good. He lives in the UK, and he got my vision. So we've been writing pretty hard together, and it's been a good synergy. He brings me, I tell him what I want musically, he creates it. And I'm able to put my little spin on it, to what he's created with me, and I think that's become what this band is now.
And as far as the studio side goes, like we've mentioned, you just consistently release singles. Is there another EP in the works, or a full length, or are you guys just going one single at a time for now?
What does that mean?
That
Could be both.
yeah,
of you.
that has to be you.
Very important to me. So when we were on Cleopatra Records and we released The Awakening, that was, I knew it had to come out guns blazing, you know, as best as I could possibly do. And I was on a weekend kick. I love The Weeknd. So I was like, okay, I'm going to cover The Weeknd. I'm going to do a lot of dark wave shit on this. And then it just kind of progressed from there. It was like, okay, where do we go from here now, and how good are we? What can we create? And I felt like where we are now has been mind-blowing for all of us. You know, I mean, like, we're just like, we can do this. You know, we can create cool stuff. And I think we've had a lot of problems from day one because, you know, we came out during Twilight. And I'll never forget this. This is crazy. This is not fabricated. Justin Bieber's mom had hit me up. I remember when we got on Headbangers Ball on MTV, and she's like, "I love your music. My son loves your music." I was like, "No, it's no way." But like, that was so long ago, right? And then I feel like the progression of this band, we put in the work to sound better. We put in the work to compete. We put in the work because we love it. It's honestly, I'll be honest with you, man, this is all passion. It's all passion.
It definitely comes through, especially with the new music. And last thing before the closing segment, is there any update on the studio side or the road side, any upcoming tours that you can mention?
Well, I will say this. We are releasing an EP called Belladonna. The songs that we have been releasing, songs that we have been releasing the singles for is off that EP. Okay. There is no solidified number right now, but we probably have 6 songs total in that EP, and I think that it's pretty prolific for us, man, because we became independent after I was released from Victory. And let me just say this, Victory gets a lot of guff. But Tony from Victory is my, you know, Emperor of Quam. He gave me a fair deal. He gave me all my rights back when I left, including Vampires. And he said, "I wish you the best of luck." And I think after getting off that and going independent, we were able to do what we want. Yeah, as you've seen, like with bands like Sleep Token that release like 3 or 4 songs at once, we're able to keep the momentum going because we can release when we want. You know, and that is very, very important going out nowadays, especially when you're on TikTok or Spotify or whatever you're going to do, keeping fans engaged. You know, Jesse has severe ADD. I won't say his. I mean, I'm going to blame him for the ditch because I don't want to blame myself. But I definitely think that going forward, people really want to hear music consecutively. They don't want to hear it 6 months from now. You know, and we're trying to give them that.
I feel like the state of metal right now and is catching up with what like hip hop has been doing. We saw that bridge between like emo and hip hop in the last like 3 years, and now metal bands are starting to take that route. And he's right, knowing that we're independent and we have say in what we do becomes a lot easier. So like we make an EP stretch a whole year, and it becomes really, really good. And to go off of what he was saying, I really do feel, on my perspective, with this new EP, the new songs and stuff is a new chapter of Vampires Everywhere. The Awakening was exactly that. It was the awakening. It was the rebirth of the band. You know, coming out that, okay, we still, we have music, we're putting it out, we're doing the thing. This is the stamp. So, like you said before this interview, Ghost is your new favorite song.
Yes.
And we believe that too.
It's a really good one. And lastly, before I let you guys go, this is my favorite part of every interview, and I have a speed round for you guys.
Oh, God.
I've got 10 questions, and you can say the first thing that comes to your mind. You can elaborate, do whatever you want. And whoever wants to answer first is fine by me. But first question, your favorite song to play live?
You go first.
Play live, I would definitely say Now Cry Little Sister. It's very challenging. Probably the most challenging song of the set, but people know it, and it solidifies the idea that my band was not started from Twilight Core. It was started based on the Lost Boys, and I think it solidifies the idea.
Yeah, it's Cry Little Sister now.
Favorite city to play in?
Oh my goodness. With this band, with Vampires, and the favorite city to play in is...
You want me to go first on this one?
Baby.
Mine? Oh, shit. For me, personally, I have two, and they're tied. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
It's Austin and Atlanta.
That's fair.
Atlanta's good.
The band, artist, or song that made you want to become a musician?
Oh my God, Phil Collins. Everything Phil Collins has done. I'm a big Phil Collins fan, big Genesis fan. I was blown away by the talent, and I think the first concert I went to was Genesis, so it really went a long way with like my songwriting. I wasn't good like that, but he inspired me.
I can't.
This was definitely Vampires Everywhere.
Yeah, in 2012. I actually cannot believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say.
Say it.
There is this Christian rock band called Disciple, and I saw them when I was 10 years old, front row, and that show changed my life. It was the coolest show, and that was the first time I ever looked at a band and was like, I want to do that. 2 years later, I saw them again and booked my first show.
Bro.
Ever. So, yeah, that was the first time I was like, that's what I want to do.
Rebuttal on that, the new Exorcist trailer, The Body and the Blood, The Body and the Blood.
Oh, my God, the new Exorcist looks so good.
I can't wait. The one band or artist that you want to collaborate with the most?
Oh, my God.
I've had a weird run-in with Jared Leto. I'm pretty sure he had sex with my ex-girlfriend and another girl, and that's okay, because I wanted part of that myself. But I definitely think Jared Leto is somebody for me. It's super weird because there are geniuses that you meet in life, right? Mm-hmm. And even though he was the worst joker ever, just so you know, because
he was
even. But like, he's still an amazing vocalist, and I would love to do something with him.
I'm gonna point out the obvious. I think of Vampires Everywhere, Marilyn Manson would be.
We like him. He's good.
Yes.
Your favorite tour memory?
Yeah.
Wasn't last night.
Oh God. Oh, God. My favorite tour. Oh, I got mine. Can I go first? Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but my hair's growing out. But I have a scythe tattooed on my face, like in my head, and it was the first time playing the UK for me, and a friend brought her tattoo equipment to our hotel and was like, here's like 5 flash sheets, just pick anything and I'll tattoo it. And I saw the scythe and I was like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I've wanted it forever. So I remember I called my mom and I was like, hey, I didn't ask for permission. I just told her I was doing it.
Yep.
So I laid down on the bed in London and she tattooed my face. And the next day we sold out London.
Nice.
So that is my favorite tour memory.
That's really cool. Shout out to her.
Yes.
But
Thanks, Hannah.
thanks, Hannah. But I think Warped Tour 2012. My tour manager, ex-porn star, we won't say her name, came and she's like, "Wake up! You're headlining main stage for Vegas," and there was probably 15 to 20,000 people, and I think that was the most insane thing I've ever done. I think that was the crowning moment where our band was like solidified into some sort of scene legacy type stuff where we're like, okay, you're on the same stage with Mice and Men, and you know, with all that, and it felt really good.
Was that the Warped Tour that Sleeping with Sirens caught your bus on fire? Or
That was the same Warped Tour, yes, thank you.
Your most embarrassing moment on stage?
I got that for you. So we were playing a place called Crocodile Rock. Tom Taylor, I love you, dog, but
God
we-
damn
we-
Croc Rock.
we were playing Croc Rock, and our tracks took a turn for the weird. And so I was singing, and the tracks were going a different place. And most musicians know, man, you just keep the show going, and we did.
Yeah, that's definitely happened with us. Actually, funny enough, it happened here last year.
I know. Wasn't it during?
Yeah, we're not. Wait, yeah. Shut up. We're not talking about
Sorry.
it. But the most embarrassing for me, it was my first tour, and we were headlining Bar Sinister in Los Angeles, and it was like the first tour back for Vampires. This was their Halloween ball. Like, it was a big fucking. It sold out like months in advance. So this is the one time Michael looked at me and was like, if you're going to be on, it needs to be tonight. My kick pedal came off of my kick drum, and I fucked up Teenage Dream.
Oh.
And all I remember is him just, because I'm fiddling with it. It's the whole, like, literally half the set. It's fucking around. There's a sea of people. I am scared so, dude. It was so bad. And then I fucked it up because I came in too early, and I looked up, and he's at my kit, just giving me that face. and immediately, the first thing that I ever thought was, well, I'm fired. And I was like, there it is. I was like, cool, one tour, great. And I remember running to the bus afterwards. I was like, before you fire me, let me explain. And he goes, actually, I thought you did great. I got so drunk that night. But that was my most embarrassing. Yeah, 100%.
Gosh. Your dream tour lineup?
Oh, you want me to do dream tour lineup? Mm-hmm. How many bands are we on? 4?
Let's do 4.
Let's do 4, including us.
Yes.
Do you have one? Forgot you were here. I'm sorry.
Hi, Brandon.
Do you have a?
I'm actually curious. Brandon.
Yeah. I'm actually curious.
Before you go into the rendition of In the End, tell us.
Oh, I was wondering when that was
what's
coming
in the
up.
beginning?
Every time.
If Black Veil Brides isn't on this, I'm sorry.
Well, they
I wore
have
this
to be
shirt just
now.
for
They'll be
you.
offended when they see this interview. So, Black Veil Brides, Andy Black, acoustic Blink-182 set, and Robert Smith.
And us.
We're with.
That's it's us with Robert Smith. Shit. Dream lineup for me?
Realistically.
Yeah. That's the hard part. It's like realistic. I answered this before, but then I thought, okay, hold up. All right, you're not gonna agree with me, but Rammstein, 9 Inch Nails. You're really not gonna agree with this one, like at all. Rammstein, 9 Inch Nails, Motionless in White, us.
That's your dream lineup.
I think that would be just insane.
We did my other band Dead Girls Camp. We did a tour with John 5, so I would say Rob Zombie would be a very cool thing. Motley Crue would blow my fucking mind. I played on stage with Bon Jovi's bass player. I had to sing "Living on a Prayer" on Shiprock. Yeah, I did. Diaper needed to be clean, and I think most of all Phil Collins. That will never happen. Because he can't even fucking walk. But I will say this: if he decided to do that weird movie with Kevin Hart, I would, if he wheelchaired up, I would 100% do that.
There's a vocalist, and I can't remember who it is, and it's not Ozzy, but there's a I think you told me. I think it's Dokken.
Dokken?
I think so. Where the vocalist had to be walked on stage.
That was Dokken.
Had to be walked on stage and shown where thousands of people are. Just, hey, stand on that X, look out there, sing your songs.
I will be fair though. I had the pleasure of meeting Jelly Roll a couple times, and his wife, Bunny, has always been very nice to me and very special. I mean, we've had a relationship as friends, and I think that people like that like earn their way to the top is very special. I mean, because we're climbing. I mean, man, if you're talking about climbing a small wall, we're toenail by toenail at this point.
Jelly Roll is a really good one. It would be so polar opposite, but he's right. Jelly Roll is actually one of my favorite artists right now. So
I mean, your influences are so eclectic. Like, you guys were listening to the Midnight when I was on here earlier.
The best band in the world.
And I do love the Midnight for Nocturnal, but everything else can be.
River of Darkness is not on Nocturnal.
It is.
Is it?
Yes.
A place you haven't performed yet that you really want to.
Oh my goodness, I haven't performed it that I really want to.
Chain Reaction.
You really want to play Chain? And you know what? And,
Yes.
and
We were
I
supposed
love
to.
their owners of Chain. They're really good people. They do when we were young. But for me, I definitely think it would be the Palladium for us. I think for us, going back to Los Angeles and playing something like that we headline would be special.
Oh, never mind. Wrong Palladium. Other Palladium. The wrong side of the country. I said Chain Reaction just because of the fact that I grew up watching like the live sets, which is fucking crazy because BVTV used to have those live sets, and Alesana was one of the ones that I used to watch, which was crazy. It was like the full set. It was them. So a lot of those were filmed at Chain Reaction. So it was like legendary for when I was growing up. Like, that was the place that everyone filmed like music videos and shit. We just played one of those last tour for us, which was The Forge. So there was another one that like had all of, it would never say The Forge, it would just say Joliet, Illinois. Like, live from Joliet, Illinois. And it was always The Forge. And we just played that, which is crazy because I watched a set that I just like used to watch, and I was like, oh shit, I just played there. I know exactly what that is.
Well,
But
it was definitely a big deal because Ron from Victory, who's been my homeboy for a long time, he's now at Rain of Fire. It's a new label, but it was a big deal for us to go back there and have like 60 to 80 people in a line, waiting for merch. It reminded me of Warped Tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like, we weren't expecting this much resurgence. We're expecting bit by bit because it's always been like that. But now things are starting to change, and I really respect, going back to places that we have. We were there with with Bad Flower and from Ashes to New, with Dead Girls, to go back there and do it, you know, do our thing and see that line was bananas. It's bananas.
Your favorite thing to do outside of music?
Drugs. No, I'm joking. Sorry, can't say that. My favorite thing to do outside of music. I used to powerlift, so I like gym stuff, and then I'm a huge I love playing Halo. Like at home, love playing Halo.
I live in Las Vegas.
Drugs.
Shout out to Daniel. When I moved to Las Vegas, my homeboy next to me would survive. Introduced me to this guy, Daniel, and he was in Vegas. And since I've met him, he's changed my life. I mean, I was living in Los Angeles for 15 years, and I was over it during the pandemic. And when I moved there, he befriended me and showed me a new side of life. You know, like going out and doing rock star type shit it's not like we're making this up. Like I roll out of bed and that's what I do, man. I enjoy women, I enjoy drinking, I enjoy clubs, I enjoy every beautiful side of life. I mean, we're here for a short time. Live as hard as you can.
I want to change my answer. Yeah. Ditto.
And the last question, always my favorite one. The song you wrote that means the most to you?
Like ever?
Sure.
Like not in this band or just ever?
You could do both. In the end, for you.
Oh my God!
I love that song.
Boom!
Thank you.
Roasted!
What can I say, man? Mic drop.
It did really well.
Dear Eliza.
For me, it's definitely Suffocate Me. I'm not a big fan of my ex-guitar player, but when I wrote that, I was in a very dark place, and I wanted to just say, you know, I'm cursed to walk this earth alone. You know, this is a very shallow industry. It's a very personal and you know, self-perpetuating industry, and I needed to say something, and I did on that song.
Oh, I still have to go. All right. Okay, my first ever local band that actually did anything. I wrote a song called "Where the Sun Don't Shine," and it was the first song that ever.
Let me just say that's a horrible name.
Horrible name, but it was back in 2012 when
There's no excuse for that name.
bro, the Devil Wears Prada has a song called "This Song Is Called."
Yeah, don't bring them into this.
So, I'm just saying I love that name.
Don't bring Christians into your conversation.
Yeah, I already did it once. Yeah, too late. So that was the first song that I ever truly loved. I ever truly looked back on. I was 15. I was
great that song, did you?
I did, and I was like, wow, this is it. This is cool. And it was the first one that I actually could go back and listen to now and be like, all right, that was still good. That was fine. So that one.
Well, just like that, that was everything I had for you guys. Was there any closing message to any Vampires Everywhere fans watching?
Yes, I'm going to say something. The fact that you guys came out here tonight and we were behind schedule and you took the time to come on the bus and talk to us. I mean, to me, I couldn't thank you enough for believing in our band and taking the time. And I mean, you have a life, man. It was very short, and you came out here and interviewed us, and I can't thank you enough for doing that.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate you. And to everyone who's listened to any of the songs, continue to listen. You come out to shows, and, the people that I meet and, the lines at the merch table, thank you so much, because if it wasn't for any of you, we wouldn't, be able to do this. So it's been far beyond my wildest dreams to, be here. And thank you for everybody.
Thank you guys. For real, thank you so much for the time. It's been an honor talking with you.
Of course, thank you,
It's
brother.
good to have you here, Brandon Bierzak. And
my
until the
God.
next interview, stay tuned, stay scared, and I'll catch you later.